So what happens when a person wants to create more money and fame? Normally, when when the soul is not um, when the soul only remembers its old self of not being visible, of being afraid and scared, this very irrational fear. It's like this huge noise in the head that that feels like it's hard to sleep, it's hard to like focus, it feels like the mind is going 100 miles per hour, it feels like you can't breathe, it feels like your consciousness it's like going through sludge. Your mind cannot control itself. You can control your mind. You feel very stuck. You feel very uncertain as to like what it means to actually have more fame and money. But there's that drive that you wanna create that for yourself, but there's no way because there's this irrationality of how the heck are you gonna get more money and fame. To me, having more money is just an extension of our value. It's when we are able to upgrade our value and deliver that program or that service. It's a natural thing to receive back the energy behind it, and that comes from receiving with money. So when we have more money, we obviously have more opportunities. We have the opportunity to decide of what kind of freedom we want in our lives. We obviously have more time to kind of like be feeling like we're safe, because and then also having that peace of mind that comes with when you have more money. But also when you have more money, you do have to balance the financial part of the expenses, so that's going out and then the income that's coming in. So it's like a dance for when you really want to upgrade your money. That is upgrading your value. Then about fame. Fame is a natural process after you receive more money. It's the most expansive version of the money value that you are. It is the experience of your energy field feeling big, of being full, of attracting, magnetizing people to you. It's the feeling of like almost like allowing your whole field to affect others, and to also bring that peace of mind to others for them to experience it by being in your own field. So having more fame is again the natural byproduct of your value, of its highest value. And the more people know your story and your message and your values, and they connect with those values, the more likely they will want to understand the depth of what you share, what your soul is meant to share and express itself, mainly to express itself. Without that self-expression, we can kind of lose ourselves in those desires. And so the byproduct of having more money and fame can also be the spiritual void. The spiritual void of like no longer connecting with the soul and what its soul's design, the way that it's meant to be itself authentically. And the more we expand from that, it's the most natural thing to get reconnected to yourself spiritually. It's the same that goes for those who are super spiritual, that they have the abundance, but they lack the means and the money coming in to sustain their experience that they want, the opportunities that they want. And again, there's this ungrounded cloudiness that they experience, and that disconnect to source. So the best way to bring in more money and fame and more spirituality is connecting back to source, the source of who we are, our divine gifts, our love for our soul, for all beings, for gratitude, and taking yourself to that next level, which means expanding the consciousness of where you are and becoming more 10th dimensional beings, which is more about just self-expression, of letting others know how they can help you to get to that next level, and what you truly desire to create and help others with. So to me, the consciousness that we need to shift into is reconnection to that value of that message that we share, that we self-express, because that message is what brings people back to their soul essence. It allows them to hear those stories, to remember who they are, to remember what their divine being is more about. And the longer we are in that void, the harder it is to remember what source feels like when you're really, really in your game and in your brilliance. It's one of the most beautiful things to actually feel your essence in your heart, and to know that you are loved, and to know that you have everything, and that you are an abundant being, and that your soul is meant to meant for bigger things. It's meant to self-express. And we must remember who we are, to remember the essence, to remember our desires, to remember what we truly want in our lives. And the only way is to really reconnect with the story that's within us. It's the most beautiful thing to be able to experience your soul's message, your soul's interconnectedness of how it experiences itself, and living that experience over and over and over again, and the life that we are meant to be.